What if I told you the moment you begin walking the spiritual path alone is the moment your entire existence transforms? Not when you join a group, not when you find a guru, but when you dare to venture into the depths of your own being. This is where the real journey begins, where everything you thought you knew about life starts to unravel. Have you ever felt this sudden shift in your perception, as if you've woken up from a long dream? When spiritual awakening happens in solitude, it doesn't arrive with fanfare. It's more like the gentle breaking of dawn quiet, almost imperceptible, yet utterly transformative. One day, you simply realize that the things you once chased so desperately, success, recognition, material wealth, suddenly feel hollow. But this isn't depression. No, this is clarity in its purest form. Think about it. How many of your daily actions are merely responses to society's invisible scripts? The clothes you wear, the opinions you share, even the way you smile, all carefully choreographed performances. And then, in a moment of profound stillness, you step off that stage. You're no longer acting out a role. You're observing the entire play of life. Isn't it strange? How liberating it feels when you stop trying to prove your worth in spaces that never truly saw you. Walking this spiritual path alone is like fine-tuning an old radio. At first, all you hear is static, the noise of your conditioned mind, your fears, your desires. But as you sit in silence, as you turn inward, the signal becomes clearer. Suddenly, you begin to sense things beyond words. Someone says they're fine, but you feel the storm raging within them. A smile appears genuine, but your heart detects the sadness it masks. This isn't imagination or some mystical power. It's resonance. You're no longer interpreting reality through the lens of logic alone. You're experiencing it through vibration, through the very essence of being. Tell me, have you noticed lately that you can feel people more than you can understand them with your mind? Of course, this newfound sensitivity isn't always comfortable. Crowded places may leave you drained. Superficial conversations feel like nails on a chalkboard. You find yourself craving more solitude, more authenticity, more depth. There might be moments when you wonder, am I losing my mind? But no, you're not going crazy. You're simply stepping into a dimension of reality that most people are too distracted to notice. And here's the beautiful paradox. As you learn to carry this gift with grace and balance, something extraordinary happens. The people around you begin to soften. They open up in ways they never have before. They might shed tears without knowing why, not because you fixed them or given them advice, but because your very presence, your stillness, has reminded them of a truth they had forgotten within themselves. Slowly, you come to a profound realization. Purpose is no longer something external you're chasing after. It's something you embody. Your mere presence becomes a healing force. Your silence becomes more eloquent than words. Your alignment with truth becomes a beacon for those lost in the storms of life. Yes, this path can be lonely at times, but this loneliness is sacred. In it, you encounter the only companion that has been with you since the beginning and will be with you until the end, your own soul. So here's the great secret. When you awaken alone, you don't just become aware. You become sovereign. You stop seeking permission to exist authentically. You cease trying to squeeze yourself into cages built by others' expectations, and you begin to live by a frequency that is uniquely, uncompromisingly your own. Now I ask you, are you still waiting for the world to validate your spiritual journey? Or are you ready to walk this path alone, knowing that in your solitude, you are never truly isolated? Take a deep breath. If these words resonate within you, don't keep them locked away. Share them, speak them, live them. Because somewhere out there, another soul walking in silence needs to know they're not the only one on this journey. Because once you commit to walking the spiritual path alone, everything, absolutely everything changes. The old rules no longer apply. The games that once consumed you lose their power. You begin to see through the illusions that most of humanity takes for reality. It is as if you've been given a pair of glasses that allow you to see the matrix of existence. But let me be clear, this isn't about becoming superior or detached from the world. It's about engaging with life from a place of profound authenticity and awareness. You'll find that your relationships deepen even as some fall away. Your work becomes infused with purpose, even if it looks the same on the outside. Every moment becomes an opportunity for growth, for connection, for experiencing the divine in the ordinary. You might find yourself drawn to nature in ways you never were before. The whisper of leaves in the wind carries messages. The rhythm of waves on the shore syncs with your heartbeat. You start to sense the aliveness in everything around you, realizing that the separation you once felt was an illusion. Your intuition sharpens to a razor's edge. You begin to trust the subtle nudges of your inner guidance more than the loud opinions of the external world. Decision-making becomes simpler, not because the choices are easier, but because you're aligned with a deeper wisdom. Time itself seems to shift. You'll have moments where you feel completely present, where past and future dissolve, and you touch eternity in the now. These glimpses of timelessness remind you that your journey is both ancient and immediate. But make no mistake, this path is not always smooth. There will be dark nights of the soul, periods of intense questioning and doubt. You might feel like you're losing everything you once held dear. Your ego will fight back, trying to pull you back into old patterns. This is where your commitment to walking alone becomes crucial, because in those moments of darkness, it's your own inner light that must guide you through. You'll also face the challenge of living in two worlds, the awakened state you're growing into, and the conventional reality most people inhabit. Learning to bridge these worlds with compassion and wisdom becomes an art form. You'll need to develop the skill of translating your experiences into language others can understand, of being in the world but not of it. As you progress, you'll discover that your greatest teachers are no longer outside of you. Every person, every situation becomes a mirror, reflecting back aspects of yourself that need attention, healing, or celebration. The entire universe becomes your guru, speaking to you through synchronicities, through challenges, through moments of unexpected beauty. Your definition of love expands beyond what you ever imagined. It becomes less about possession or emotion, and more about a state of being, a recognition of the divine in everything and everyone. You'll find yourself capable of loving even those who have hurt you, not out of weakness, but from a place of profound understanding. The concept of death transforms. As you touch the eternal within yourself, the fear of physical death diminishes. You begin to see it not as an end, but as a transition, a doorway. This doesn't make you reckless with your life, quite the opposite. It instills a deep reverence for each breath, each heartbeat. Your sense of identity undergoes a radical shift. The story of who you thought you were, your background, your achievements, your failures, begins to feel like a costume you've been wearing. You start to sense the vastness of your true nature, beyond name and form. This can be both liberating and terrifying. As you walk this path, you'll find that your mere presence starts to catalyze change in others. Without trying to fix or change anyone, you'll notice people around you beginning to question their own lives more deeply. Your authenticity gives others permission to be authentic. Your peace creates space for others to find their own. Remember, this journey of walking the spiritual path alone doesn't mean you're isolated from humanity. It means you're pioneering a way of being that might feel foreign at first, but is actually our most natural state. You're remembering what it means to be fully, radiantly human. So as you step onto this path, know that you're not just changing your own life. You're participating in the evolution of human consciousness. Every step you take in awareness ripples out into the collective. Your awakening is not just for you, it's a gift to the entire world. Are you ready? The path is before you, calling you home to yourself. Take that first step, and then another, and another. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the journey of spiritual awakening begins with a single moment of true presence. Everything is about to change. And it all starts now with you walking this path alone, yet more connected than ever before.